Hola, I'm Fivers and welcome to Grimlight. In today's video, I'm going to talk about how to reroll and which character you should reroll for. This game is not that reroll friendly because we can't connect with a guest account, so we have to connect with a Google or Apple account, and in the case that you don't like the characters that you get and you are going to try to reroll again, you will have to introduce a different Google or Apple account every time. The game is going to ask for our name, and this name is going to be unique. So if you select one name and try to create a different account, you will not be able to select the same name again. The first thing that we have to do is to complete the different stages following the tutorial until you defeat the stage 1-3, where the game is going to bring you to the summons. Here is where you should leave the summon section and go directly to your mail, because thanks to the huge delay that they have suffered as compensation, they have sent us free 5-star ticket. So we collect this mail and open this ticket before doing the summons, so now we know in which character we should focus in the free 10 rerolls that the game lets us do. It's important to do it in this order, because it will ruin our reroll if we try to summon one specific character on the free rerolls and then we get the same character in this free ticket. In this mail, we are going to receive 34 memory shards that you can use in the permanent banner, so this is going to let us summon 3 times in the summon per turn. After opening the free ticket and doing these 30 summons, we should go finally to the selective summon and try to get a new character, but not a duplicate. In Grimlight, the probability to obtain a 5-star is 3%, 25% for a 4-star, and 72% for a 3-star. The selective summon doesn't guarantee a 5-star, so it could happen that after the 10 free summons, you wouldn't get a 5-star. So this makes even harder to try to reroll in this game. In my opinion, after all of these free summons, if you are not super unlucky, you shouldn't have the necessity to reroll. But if you really want to, you should just follow the steps that I have mentioned in this video. Because these selected summons don't guarantee a 5-star, it could happen that you get more than one 5-star in one pull. But knowing how tedious it is to reroll in this game, it's on you how greedy and how many times you are able to create a new account and following all of these steps all over again. So as my recommendation, if you are not interested in doing infinite rerolls and knowing that you could get nothing after all of these free selected summon, if you already get one 5-star that is already good enough, I will keep it. Of course, adding the free 5-star that you are going to get from the ticket and the possible 5-stars that you could get after the standard summons thanks to the memory shards. And now I'm going to mention the characters that in my opinion are going to be a better addition to your team. You need to know that the game is completely new and we didn't have enough time to test these characters, so take it with a grain of salt. Grimlight has 5 different elements. 3 of them form a circle of strong versus and weak versus. These 3 elements are fire, water and nature. And then we have 2 special elements, which are dark and light, and that's why you should try to focus on getting these special elements. Out of these characters, I think that Dracula is one of the best options. He's a pure AoE damage character with a passive that reduces the physical resistance of the enemies. Kaguya is pretty similar, but she just attacks to one enemy. She is an assassin, and after what I have seen in multiple gacha games, this class is not going to be that useful in the beginning of the game. Then, Snow White is a light guardian and Dorothy is a support, so these 2 units will help your team, but you will need a good DPS character. That's why I think that Dracula is the best of all of these special characters for the beginning of the game. And just to do some special mentions, I think that Alice is another good DPS character thanks to that she's able to execute the enemy when the enemy is under 20% HP. And to finish, Tamamo no Mai seems like another option instead of Dracula, but in this case, she's going to deal magical damage and reduce the magical resistance instead of physical like Dracula. And she's also able to silence the enemies, that this effect is normally a pretty good thing. And that's it for today's video. I hope that I have helped you. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a comment, drop a like and consider subscribing if you wanna see more Grimlight content in the future, and see you in the next video. Ciao!